Hey there, welcome to the UkeStuff channel and welcome to this quick but full UkeGuide review of this instrument. This is the Crossroads CU-107PUR purple model. It's a painted ukulele. I think much in the same vein as like the diamond head models, may even be made in the same factory. It has a lot of similarities, including the numbering system and the paint on it. So this is an instrument that was brought in by one of my students to be tuned for the first time. There is a parent in our school that owns a music store, and they donated some of these for a fundraiser for our school. So one of the families bought this, and the student brought it in and asked me to tune it up and get it ready to go for them. And I'm doing a quick review of this. Now, in full disclosure, this one had not been tuned up before today. So it's holding tuning pretty well after playing it a bit today, but it's definitely slipping out of tune a little bit, which is to be expected. No knocks on it for that, but I do have to be kind of quick here because I need to get this back to my student. So what I'm gonna do in this full UkeGuide review is, first of all, I'm gonna go over some subjective categories, then I'll go over the specifications, and then I'll summarize the instrument and give it a UkeGuide rating out of 5 possible ukuleles. And I'm gonna do this one really fast today. So in terms of cost, these sell for $45 new in music stores, which is pretty much the going rate for an entry-level ukulele. The value, I think the price meets the value here. You're not getting an exceptional package or anything. You get a light gig bag with it, you get one set of strings, and you get the painted ukulele. In terms of the build quality, it's a painted ukulele. Even the fretboard is painted. The bridge is painted as well. So, this is not a super high quality ukulele. You can see on the inside that the laminate that's used isn't a super high quality laminate. It is a maple laminate, but it's functional. It's functional as an entry level instrument, so no knocks on it there, but it just isn't the highest quality. So it does not appear flawless. You can see, sort of some of the paint on the edges and so forth that isn't just so nice, but that's okay. It's an entry level ukulele. One of the things we do on these videos is we look inside the ukuleles to see what the construction looks like, and we're looking here right into the sound hole. You can see the lower quality laminate as we go. Nothing wrong with it, it just is. It does have a tail block. You can see that the bridge plate is screwed into, so the bridge is screwed into that. You can see it's relatively a pretty clean build. I mean, there's a little bit of mess here. You can see that there is kerfing, and it's straight kerfing. And you can see that there really isn't anything in terms of horizontal supports on the soundboard. All right, let's look at the upper bout. There's our neck block right there. You can see Right there is your straight kerfing. There's a loose piece of something there hanging down. See a little bit of glue mess, and that's a quick look at a very functional yet lower quality ukulele, the Crossroads CU-107PUR. All right, in terms of appearance from a distance, it's pretty attractive. As you get a little closer, particularly like the fretboard, it's not as nice, but you know, it's an entry-level painted ukulele, so it's fine for what it is. In terms of availability, they are available in music stores now. You can look for them online. You can find dealers that have them. In terms of playability, it's a 35mm nut. The neck shape isn't so C-shaped, which is kind of nice, but the action here is really quite nice, and the string spacing is pretty wide for a 35mm nut. So I'm actually gonna give this, in terms of playability, a boost over what I have many of these painted soprano ukuleles. In terms of sound quality, it's decent. It's definitely a laminate tone. You know, it's not totally caught, but it has a little bit of that laminate tubby sound, and that's to be expected at this price point. So the sound is okay, the volume is average, and the tone is a touch towards the dark side because of the laminate. Another thing I do in these videos is I let you see what I'm hearing by playing the instrument into Tonal Energy Tuner to let you see what's happening with the Harmonic Energy series. Here we go. Ultimately, what I'll say is I'm not hearing a lot of top-end shimmer or shine. Different strings might help with that. It's a laminate tone. It's not a bad tone. Nothing wrong with it. Totally functional, entry-level ukulele sort of sound. So not angry about it or anything. Not going to not recommend it because of that. It's what you expect at this $45 price point from a painted, lower quality laminate ukulele. All right, now that we've talked about the subjective categories, let's get into the specifications. It is a soprano ukulele with a scale length that's just longer than 13.5 inches, 13.5625. It has 12 frets with 12 to the body, like many sopranos. It does have painted side marker position dots, and it is a double bout standard ukulele. The soundboard is supposed to be laminate maple. The back and sides are also supposed to be laminate maple. The fretboard is unknown because it's painted the same as of the bridge. You don't know what material it is. It is a tie bar bridge. The fretboard is not radius. The nut and saddle are plastic. The saddle is not compensated, and the finish is just a purple paint on this one. The overall length is just short of 20 inches, 20.8125 inches, and it weighs 13.3 ounces. It's very light with that laminate that's being used. They are open geared tuners with really large tuning heads, very reminiscent of a mahalo or a diamond head at this price point. The action at the first fret is 0.5 millimeters. The action at the 12th fret is 2.0 millimeters. So the action is really good on this one. I'm not sure if the music store owner set these up before donating them or if they just come off the assembly line that way. Don't know, but that's really good. The nut width is 34.7 millimeters, which is pretty common, 35mm nut. The space between strings is 8.8 millimeters with 29.1 G to A. So pretty standard on the larger side of string spacing for a 35mm nut, which is also good. And the depth of the neck of the third fret with that low action is 20.47 millimeters from the top of the strings at the third fret to the bottom of the neck. So it is a relatively not totally round shape. It does have a little bit of that C shape, but it also is a little bit more narrow on the top. I mean, you might even be able to see that a little bit. So it feels pretty good in the hand to play, although it is painted and could be slippery, for example, if you had a sweaty hand or something like that as you were playing. But nonetheless, overall, I like what's going on here for an entry-level ukulele. That's one of the biggest things, is the action for a beginning player, and it's set to go here, which makes me very happy with this instrument at this price point. All right, now that we've talked about the subjective categories and the specifications, let's get into a summary. This instrument, again, was donated by one of our parents in our school for a fundraiser, and one of our other students' families bought it, and this is their instrument that they brought in for me to tune. So it is holding its tune right now after a full day of playing. It may need to be touched up. That's a guarantee on new instruments. They're going to need to be broken in, especially the strings. Overall, it's an inexpensive $45 instrument. It comes with a very, very light gig bag. I think it's a pretty good starter. Are there better instruments? Absolutely. Are there better quality in terms of the laminate that's used, fretboard, you name it, tuners? Absolutely. But is it a functional beginning instrument? The answer is yes, with a really good setup and a neck that is shaped a little differently than some of the other starters that I've seen. So I like that. Those two things together make me approve this instrument. If you're going to buy it for a beginner and all you had was $45, this would be a nice, safe one to do. Now, I do not know if all of them come set up this well or if the music store owner has set them up before donating them. You would have to figure that out and maybe check the action before buying, just as a caveat there. But otherwise, I think it's a great intro starter instrument for not a whole lot of money. I would consider buying another gig bag, but that's going to knock you into another price point. So there's something, if you can find another gig bag or have an extra gig bag laying around that you can give to someone that buys one of these, then that's even better, because this paint does need to be protected a little bit or it's going to chip like that on the very top. Can you see that? There you go. You can see that at the top. So these are prone to chipping. All the painted ones, doesn't matter what the brand is, it's just going to happen. So what UkeGuide rating would I give this one? I'm going to give this one a 3.5. 3.5. Mainly because of that setup. It's not a great tone, but it's not a terrible playing experience for a soprano. So yeah, I'll take that setup every day. And as long as we have the side position markers and the rest of it is functional and works, the tuners are giant, but they work. The instrument works. Is it the greatest instrument ever? No, but it doesn't have to be. And chances are someone that buys this, if they love the instrument, they're going to move on to another instrument, and this one will still be functional. Great setup. Have to give it kudos for that. All right, thanks so much for joining for this video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more Uke stuff for you.